Welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to explore Java Swing, which is the foundation of modern Java desktop applications. Before we start building interfaces, it is very important that you understand why Swing exists, how it is different from AWT, and how a Swing program is structured. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand the difference between AWT and Swing, the main Swing components, and how to structure a proper Swing GUI using panels. Let's begin. To understand Swing, we first need to talk about AWT, which stands for Abstract Window Toolkit. AWT was the first GUI library introduced in Java. It allows developers to create windows, buttons, text fields, and other basic interface components. However, AWT components are known as heavyweight components. This means that AWT relies on the operating system native GUI components. Because of that, AWT program may look different on Windows, Mac OS, or Linux. This lack of consistency becomes a major problem as Java grew in popularity. Swing was introduced to solve this problem. Swing components are lightweight components, meaning they are drawn entirely by Java, not by the operating system. As a result, Swing applications look and behave consistently across all platforms. In short, AWT depends on the operating system, while Swing is controlled by Java itself. The constructor is where the entire user interface is built. In Swing applications, we usually place all GUI setup code inside the constructor so that the window is fully prepared the moment it is created. Because this class extends JFrame, the constructor allows us to configure the window directly. When an object of this class is created, the constructor runs automatically. This means the title, size, layout, and all components are ready before the window is shown. Notice that the constructor name is exactly the same as the class name. This is how Java knows this method is a constructor. Inside the constructor, we start by configuring the JFrame. First, we set the title of the window to Cleaning App. Then, we define the size of the window using setSize. The setDefaultClose operation ensures that the program exits when the window is closed. We also apply a flow layout. Flow layout is the simplest layout manager. It places components from left to right, wrapping to the next line when needed. For beginners, this layout helps us focus on structure rather than complex positioning. Next, we create a JPanel. A JPanel is a container used to group related components together. In professional Swing application, components are almost always placed inside panels. The panel we give a light gray background so it is visually clear. We also set a preferred size to control how much space the panel occupies. Think of a JPanel as a section of the screen, not just a box. The next component is a JLabel. A JLabel is used to display static text. In this case, it simply tells the user what information is required. We then create a JText file. This allows the user to enter text. The number 10 represents the width of the text field in columns. JTextField is commonly used for names, IDs, or short input values. Next, we define a list of doctors using a simple string array. This array is passed into a JComboBox. A JComboBox provides a drop-down list where the user can select one option. This is useful when the input choices are limited and predefined. We then create a JButton with the label Save. At this stage, the button does not perform any action. This is intentional because we are focusing on the GUI structure, not even event handler yet. Now we move on to one of Swing's powerful components, the JTable. We define some dummy data to represent patients and assign doctors. We also define column headers to label the table. The JTable displays data in rows and columns, similar to a spreadsheet. Tables are commonly used in systems such as clinic system, inventory systems, and students' record. A JTable is almost always placed inside a JScroll pane. This allows the column headers to appear and enables scrolling when data exceeds the visible area. Without a JScroll pane, tables will not display correctly. Now we assemble the user interface. First, we add the label, text field, combo box, and button into the input panel. This groups all related input components into one section. Then we add the panel and the table to the JFrame. The order here matters because flow layout displays components in sequence. Finally, we reach the main method. We create an instance of the applications and make it visible. This is all that required to launch the Swing window.